Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about vehicle requirements on Uber and UberEats. Uber is actually very funny about this because they are the one app that has a particular series of requirements that somebody needs for their vehicle as opposed to something like Doordash and Grubhub, which makes sense because they're not just a delivery company, they are a rideshare company. So with that said, I want to go over everything you must know about the vehicle requirements for not only Uber drivers, but for Uber Eats drivers, what they tell you versus how it actually is, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain or is never intended to be legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult with qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that everything I'm going to be going over in this video is very market dependent, and what applies to me in my market may not apply to you. So with that said, let's get started. All vehicles being used for rides on the Uber app must meet the following requirements. Must have 4 doors and be able to transport a minimum of 4 passengers. 1 person in the front, 3 people in the back. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Vehicle model must be 15 years old or newer. If you're planning on being in the gig economy for an extended period of time, don't try to use a vehicle that's cutting it close, you know? Like right now it's 2023, don't get a 2008 car. Don't get a car that's 2010 and then you have to change it in 2 years. Use a car that you're planning on using as long as you are an Uber driver and you are dependent on the income. Title cannot be salvaged, reconstructed, or rebuilt. It's okay to have a pre-owned car. It's not okay to have a salvaged, reconstructed, or rebuilt title. Rental vehicles, except those from an approved Uber rental company, are not allowed. I'm gonna make a separate video on rental vehicles, but long story short, unless you're going through the proper processes to actually rent a vehicle, you can't just rent a vehicle. Cannot have any cosmetic damage, missing pieces, commercial branding, or taxi paint jobs. So if you're planning on using Uber and kind of using that as a way to advertise your business, that's no bueno. But let's say you're using Rapify or some sort of advertising company to earn a certain amount of passive income. There are programs for it, but if you're gonna do that, you might want to be a delivery driver and not just a rideshare driver. Should you choose to drive a vehicle you do not personally own, you must be listed as an insured driver on this vehicle's insurance policy. Please note that Uber cannot approve a vehicle if the driver's name is not on the insurance document. So if you're borrowing somebody else's car to actually drive for Uber, it's not gonna work. Like, let's say you're somebody in college and you're using your parents' car right now, right? Your name has to be on the insurance card specifically. If it's not on the insurance card, it's not going to work. If your vehicle does not match the requirements above, you may still be able to use your vehicle for deliveries on the Uber app. And this is where they refer to Uber Eats, and let's go over that article now. If you don't qualify to drive with Uber, there are other opportunities to earn, including delivering with Uber Eats. People who deliver can earn money on their own schedule, are eligible for instant pay with a registered debit card, and can access 24/7 support. Which, if you need to know more about setting up instant pay, I actually made a video talking all about that. I'll leave that in the description. Feel free to check that out. Here are the vehicle options for a delivery and their requirements. Car. Meet the minimum age to drive in your city. If the minimum age is at least 18 years old, you need to be at least 18 years old. Have a 2-door or 4-door car with make and model year in the last 20 years. So as opposed to with Uber, it's 15. For Uber Eats, it's 20. A lot easier to fulfill, especially since I don't even think I've even seen a 2003 car in who knows how long. Have a valid driver's license and vehicle insurance, which you do need to keep up to date with the insurance as well, so make sure that's a thing for you. Have at least 1 year of driving experience. So if you just got your license at 18 and you're trying to get started on Uber at the age of 19, as soon as you got your license, that's not gonna work. And also, if you haven't had a full year of driving experience, why would you want to go on Uber? I feel like like that's a dangerous way to live. Get some driving experience under your belt and then actually start on things like DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub. See if you actually want to be a courier and if you actually enjoy driving. Some people don't like that. Motorbike, if available, use any make or model two-wheel scooter. Must have a motor of 50cc or less that travels no faster than 30 miles an hour. I'm actually shocked that they even have a speed limit requirement for motorbikes. That's odd to me, but okay. Bike. Be at least 18 years old. Have a government-issued ID. When signing up, be sure to choose biking when describing your transportation method. Okay, let's talk about something really quick. If you're somebody who's gonna be choosing biking and then driving everywhere, don't do that because you could get the account deactivated for fraud that way. There are a lot of people that are like, they said they were gonna be here by bike and he pulled up in a car. Some customers couldn't care less. The others are like, excuse me, what? So don't be that guy. But also, don't be afraid to do that as well, especially if you're in a metro area. Some places are just better on bike than they are in a car. Heck, if I was in New York City right now or in DC or something else, I would be the guy biking on every delivery. There are actually a bunch of different TikTokers and a bunch of different content creators that are literally biking as a courier and they're making good content with that. It's actually really cool. Now, I do have one other side note that I would like to go over, and that is the concept of having a hybrid vehicle and an electric vehicle. I don't know what side of the road you're on with that stuff. Maybe you think that electric vehicles just don't have the range, so you don't want to deal with that. But maybe you're like, okay, that saves a lot on gas, so it kind of works out for me. But also, if you do use an electric vehicle, you can receive a $1,000 credit on Uber. You can actually just get $1,000, which is kind of awesome. Again, all of that's going to be available in the app, but it's something to really think about. If you want to switch over from gas to EV, you can actually make some good money that way. And not to mention save money with the rising gas prices the way they are. I don't know how that changes your electric bill. I don't have firsthand experience with that, but again, something to think about. Did I miss anything? Is there something else about the vehicle requirements on Uber and Uber Eats that I have yet to cover in this video? Let me know in the comments. Let's make sure that everybody knows everything about vehicle requirements on Uber so that way they can get started right, make as much money in the least amount of time in the safest possible way. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!